Have you heard of Beauty with Brain? Rita, the third daughter of a prosperous and well-settled family, suited well to this title. She was talented, beautiful, smart, hardworking, and down-to-earth, a perfect lady. She was always praised for her good deeds towards her family, especially for her disabled brother, who was left dependent for his disability. But she took the charge and made him stand on his own feet. However, Destiny had some different plans for her. After many arguments, she finally agreed to marry, as she had settled her brother and her two younger sisters. She got married to a serviceman who was told to be wealthy, intelligent, belonging to a decent family background, who even refused dowry. But sometimes it's not the same as we see. He portrayed himself to be a reserved and angry man in front of her and her family. As she stepped in her in-laws' home, they hardly performed any rituals post-marriage. There was no happiness as of a marriage. She got confused of her decision. She tolerated everything as her morals and societal norms didn't allow her to question her in-laws. But she was unaware that this would only lead them to take advantage of her goodness. She was consoled by her own family, but she denied to take any action, hoping that things would change and she would get adjusted with them. After 1 year, she gave birth to a little girl. But that 1 year was tough for her, as she didn't receive any love or affection from the family despite taking care of everyone. While being in the hospital, her sister-in-law said sarcastically, "Oh, the same word. I knew it would be a girl." Rita got disheartened with these words. It didn't end here. Her second sister-in-law shed tears while holding the baby in her hands. She felt as if she had committed a crime for giving birth to a baby girl. She grew speechless. She needed support. She only had her husband by her side, but her husband got so influenced by both of his sisters that as they reached home, he got extremely drunk and went to sleep. What left was the lady with little daughter in the dark night of that lonely house. But she didn't lose hope. She was caressing her daughter. She was happy for her. Her husband came and slammed her not to make any noise. She was even asked to kill the infant. This time, she stood for her daughter and completely denied. Now, she had the responsibility to take care of her daughter and keep her alive along with herself, and everything all alone. Due to certain reasons, they believed that she won't be able to give birth for the second time. She felt miserable. She cried. Day and night passed, but the conditions only became worse. However, with God's grace, she gave birth to a baby boy for the second time and hoped if this would now make them happy. But her in-laws felt she had a hire of the property. Everything was in her husband's hand. If he wanted, he could have managed the situation and take his wife and children away from the toxicity of his family members. But he chose to let them do as they wished for. He continued to give his own earnings to them, neglecting his own wife and children. Gradually, most of his wealth went in their pockets. The family members were not even ashamed of what they were doing. Instead, they believed to get more money from her family. And they were the same who had refused for dowry at the time of marriage. Rita was unable to figure out what they actually wanted from her. They got her married to a man who didn't even pay any heed to her and was so much addicted to drink and refused to ever give up despite everything she did for him and her in-laws. She gave birth to a baby boy even after how badly they behaved with her upon a baby girl. She left her job as her husband wanted her to stay indoors. Her in-laws desired for her parents' money even after refusing for dowry. All this made her sadden day by day. They stopped talking to her, leaving her with her husband and her two children. She talked to her family sometimes once a week, as she was always busy with her household chores and didn't have any friends. She was not allowed to step out of the house for any purpose, as well as the children. She had to wait for her husband for everything she needed to be done, as he believed himself to be superior and her to be a weak woman who should only stay indoors. He used to question whatever she asked him to do. He never let anything done on time for the family as he put his own chores above all, and he was just drunk. Her life was confined within the four walls of the house. She suffered everything. As the children grew up and questioned their father for his behavior after they had seen their classmates' families, he used to become extremely angry and thrash them for no reason. Every time she tried to calm him, he ignored her like nobody. Rita felt cheated by the whole family and was broken from inside. Slowly, her health started to deteriorate, mentally, emotionally, which soon can be seen on her physical health. Still, her husband was busy with himself. Her children were the only ray of hope for her. With them, she prayed every day to stay positive and keep believing for the better days ahead. It's not only that a woman is assaulted physically. Mental and emotional assault are even worse. The constant fear of society and being stuck upon to figure out the situation have a deep impact on her mental health. And when she is ill-treated, it makes her emotionally weak. Both these factors slowly contribute in the deterioration of her physical health. Everyone has the right to living and express. Why people still believe a woman to be inferior? Why are her decisions always influenced with the societal norms? Most of the times her lips are pursed for the sake of so-called society. While our society comprises of women as well as men, there are many more questions. Is it just because of physical differences?